Hello guys, how are you today? I hope you all doing alright. My name is Rahel Pionanta. Today I'm gonna talk about, are video games actually good for you? So yeah, let's go. Have you ever played video games? That is I think that is very silly question because everyone have at least ever played video games at least once, if not two, or even more. It's one of the easiest entertainment that we can find. I mean, you can play it everywhere and anywhere as long as it's, you know, fine for play it. And video games have been developing for very impressive. I mean, I remember when I was still a kid, I mostly playing video games with a graphic that looks like, I mean, block puzzle. But now, mostly the games look like 3D. I mean, looks very real. So, what I'm gonna talk about is, are video games actually good for you? But first, let me tell you this. I I can't possibly call myself as a gamer because that's I don't think that's really right for me calling myself a gamer. But I'm actually played game video games since I was kid. I think around 6 or 7 years, and until now I'm still playing it. Like it's a pretty long time. And since we're talking about is it good or not, let's talk about what is the best, the good or the bad one first. I think the bad ones. So video games is very addictive. I'm not gonna lie, it's really addictive. I mean, my parents told me to play video games from my console only in weekend and holidays. So can you imagine what am I doing during holidays? Yep, only playing my console. That is one of the most bad things that you know ha- you can feel when playing video games. You can become very addictive to the game itself. I mean, I'm already experienced by myself, so I can explain it to you. And when you become very addictive with video games, you're gonna lose. I think you lost, but you're gonna lose a lot of things like your time. I mean, your relation with friends, and a lot. I think there's a lot of things when you're truly addictive with the video games. And another bad things from video games is video games can make you doing something that is really similar to video games. Like for example, if you are playing violence games, you're most likely to do that. Not most likely. It's really rare actually, but it's also one of the bad things that could possibly happen for somebody who played video games. They might, copying what those games actually doing, like violence or something like that. And since in the first I have talked about become very addictive, which means you'll spend most of your time with video games. I mean, luckily I am to spend it during holiday and weekend. Even that I spend it since morning and ended in night. So yeah, I control the television for a day or two during weekend. Like I said, you spend most of your time with video games, and you know, with that means you're gonna become individual person. Yeah, individual, because you feel addictive and you feel happy with it. Which means you don't need anything else. You don't need friends. You don't need, another hobby. You don't need any of those things. I mean, you might say, how could I say this thing? Is it really true? Hey, I've been playing since I kid. It's been a decade since I playing game every weekend, every holidays. So that's why I can say that. But is it only bad things come when you playing video games? Of course it's not. There must be at least one, two, or even more things, good things that you can get from playing video games. And there must be. I think that. But I'll be honest. The one thing that benefit me really good, really helping me that I get from playing video games is actually only one, and that is I can learn English language. Listen, most of the games are using English language back then because nowadays there are a lot of Indonesian video games have been sold have been in the market, I guess. But back then, most of the game are using English language. So whether you like it or not, you have to understand what the words actually mean. And if you don't understand it, you will not know what you have to do when playing the video games. I think that is the most benefiting that I can get from playing video games. And also, you can throw away your stress because let's be honest, everyone can feel stress, and by playing games, especially violence games, you can't be violent in real life, but in video games, you can be violent, and that can throw away your stress, and it's not wrong. And also another benefits that happen nowadays with playing video games are become esport athlete. But to be honest, I really disagree with this because imagine telling back then sport is football, basket, and volley, and a lot of that, another lot, there's still a lot, but now they have e-sport from video games. For me, that's really weird. But yeah, it actually already happened, and it's just showing how the world has been changed a lot. So that is, are video games actually good for you? The thing that we can conclude is yes, video games might good and also might be bad for you. It all depends from the person itself because the first thing is you have to separate the real life with video games. Video games is not real, so you can't connect video games with real life. That is the most important thing to remember. And also understanding what I said before, the good and the bad things from playing video games. By understanding that, you will notice that you will be fine playing video games, especially if it's just for your entertainment. Okay, that is all for today, guys. I hope you can get my point and understand it. And thank you. Goodbye.